Okay, part 2 of Christmas Time is here. The first chord in part 2 is a D flat major 7th going to a G flat 7. Then that goes back to a D flat major 7th, and then once again to a G flat 7. So the first 4 measures of part 2 of Christmas Time is here. Basically just repeat themselves. So a D flat major 7th is in root position, D flat, F, A flat, and C. And then our G flat 7 is G flat, B flat, D flat, and F flat. Now I know this looks like an E, but your dominant 7th is always going to be 2 half steps back from your root note. Here's your G flat, 1 half step back, that would be a major 7th, that would be your dominant 7th. Okay, so we have a G flat dominant 7th. So that goes to the D flat major 7th again, G flat 7, and then we have an A minor 7th in root position, which is A, C, E, and G. And that goes to a G minor 7th flat 5. So here's our G minor 7th, G, B flat, D, and F, but we want a flat 5th. So this is 1, 3, 5, 7. Here's our 5th. We're going to lower that. We're going to make that a flat. So our G minor 7th flat 5 is a G, a B flat, a D flat, and F. Okay. This can also be called a G half diminished 7th. I just decided to call it a G minor 7th flat 5. Okay, our D9, I'm really going with a rootless chord here. Okay, in fact, here's a full D9 chord. Okay, but it's kind of tough to play a 5-note chord, so I'm getting rid of the root note, starting with the 3rd. So F sharp, A, C, and E. And then a D sharp diminished 7th. I could do it in root position, then I'd have to move the whole hand. But coming from the D9, all I have to do is move my thumb down to here. Okay, so we have an F sharp, an A, C, and a D sharp for our inverted D sharp diminished 7th. Okay, and I went with the inversion here because it just puts me real close to the G minor 7th. So we have a G minor 7th, which is G, B flat, D, and F. Alright, so we have a G7 sharp 5. These 2 middle notes are just kind of go like that. Okay, there's our G minor 7th. We're just going to slide that up a half step, slide that up a half step, and that's our G7 sharp 5, which is G, B, D sharp, and F. Okay. Now we have a C7, no 3rd. Okay, our 3rd would be the E, but I'm getting rid of that, mainly because I have the 3rd in the right hand as well as with the 9th. So we can actually call this a 9th. But right now I just kind of want to show you what I'm doing in the left hand. So in the left hand we're doing a C7, no 3rd, so we're just going to do a C, a G, and a B flat. Okay, and then after that it just goes back to the chords that I covered in part 1. Okay, okay, the right hand melody to Christmas Time is here. We're covering the melody for part 2. Which is where the D flat major 7th chord starts. So our basic melody is this. And then for the next 2 measures that melody repeats. Now if you're looking at the sheet music, you'll notice on those 2 G flat 7 measures I have those fills. So let me play those 4 measures with the fills in them. Oh, that's not it. Let me do that one again. Okay, so that's the fill. If you're not quite ready for that yet, you can kind of leave out those last 5 notes on the G flat 7 and just, you know, get used to the basic melody first. And you can just hold that C for 3 beats. Same thing with the next measure, but if you want to do the next 2 measures with the fill, here's what it sounds like. Okay, and then it's pretty much just straight melody from there on out. Now, when you get to that C7 no third measure there, okay, the melody would be, okay, so the A is the melody note, the E is just part of the C7, okay, I left the third out of the 7th, so I put it in the right hand, and then I added it with the 9th, because I kind of wanted a nice full jazz chord right there. So there's my third, there's my 9th, and there's my melody note, okay? And then I just do a little fill there, and then right back into, okay? And I have some pretty easy fills thrown in that second part of page 2 if you're looking at the sheet music, which by the way is the same as part 1, so the fills are slightly different, but they're not too difficult, so I'm not going to cover them here in this tutorial. But I will play the song all the way through so you can kind of get a feel for all the different fills that I put in the right hand. Nothing super complicated here. I wanted a nice easy tutorial, but once again I wanted something that you know, anybody with kind of a basic knowledge of chords could just come in and you know, learn this, you know, maybe in a day or two. You know, if it takes you a whole week, you know, that's fine. You know, depending on where you're at, okay? So have fun with this, enjoy, and I'll see you on the next lesson.